Hi, this is Em, and today we're going to peek at some flowers. It's the end of the season now, and I've pretty much done the last run, which is what this bundle underneath this top sheet is going to show us, and I hope to share with you a few flowers that you haven't seen before, at least in my Peeking at Flowers video. And a couple of these flowers, the fuchsia, the chenille plant, the tick seed, the pineapple sage, and the Mexican sage will be in these books here, and I just want to show you what they look like. I just picked them out of the garden. These are basically part of the few remaining flowers that I have left. This is two different colors and kinds of dahlia. This is a spider, what do they call that? A spider dahlia. And then this is, I don't know what kind it is, but it's kind of more of a pomponi kind. But anyway, so having said that, if you want to see what some of the flowers look like once they've been pressed and ready to go into the books for putting on the shelf, and or I also sell flowers on Etsy, please stay tuned and let's get started. This bundle has just gotten done pressing, and I'm getting ready to put them away in the book that they'll be storing in. And I wanted to share with you before I did that how they turned out, and I'm just really, really happy. I think I've shown you larkspur before, but this is larkspur. And then this is the plant that I just showed you. That's this guy. And it's called a Mexican sage. And they have, these are so pretty, I want to highlight it. Let me bring it up close. Look at how beautiful they are. These flowers have kind of a, they're a little thicker of a texture, but they've got like a little fur, a furry feel, and they hold their color for a really long time. So they make an excellent pressed flower. And then let's take this cardboard underneath, and then let's see what's here. Now, this is a, what do I call it? I'll think of it in a minute. Let me put some more flowers on here. Toad flax. And I've got it in pink and blue. And this is that pineapple sage that I was just showing you a minute ago. This one hasn't opened up quite as much yet. Let's see what else is down here. Some more toad flax and some more Mexican sage. Okay. And okay, here's a better demonstration of the pineapple sage as they get more open. And try to move it along just a little faster so this video isn't too long. Here's some lavenderish color larkspur. I press them in open face and in profile. This is some more of that Mexican sage leaves. Okay, so we've already seen that. This is, I call it tick seed, bachelor button florets. Tick seed is this one. Presses, all these flowers that I'm showing you now that I've just showed you have good long-lasting color. They hold their color reasonably well. This is some more, I I think I've shown you this before, but Queen Anne's. The Queen Anne's, the flowers get smaller as the season goes on. Although these were some newer bushes that came up late, which is why these are bigger even though it's late in the season. And I think you've heard me before if you've watched any of my other peaking videos, is I am a Queen Anne. I'm addicted to Queen Anne. To me, Queen Anne is to press flower work what Gypsophilia is to florists. It's just one of those fillers that works pretty much well with everything. This is, I wished I had done this, realized this earlier, because my husband is into zinnias. He grows them, I don't, and they're too thick to press. So I took some petals, and I wished I'd done it earlier because the petals, I take that back. This isn't the zinnia. I don't, hopefully I have some zinnia to show you. This is a different one. This is a different kind of mom. I thought the zinnia. But don't overlook petals, because they're equally beautiful. They're equally beautiful. So this is just a page of petals. And I might come upon some zinnias here in a little bit. Not in this round. Now here we have some that I've already put away, and as you may remember me talking, I put little tags on them so I know what's in each paper sandwich. And here is some cosmos, and most of the time they turn really brown, but I got lucky and these came out pretty good. And I don't even remember if I did it in the heat press in some dry manner rather than echo steaming, or whether I did it traditionally, because I didn't take notes. But whatever method I used, they turned out really well. So that's a form of cosmos. And it's not this one. It's another kind. I have a bunch of different kinds, but it's not. It's a different one than this one and the yellow one that I showed you earlier. Here's some heather. I had two different heathers. This is take this out here. I call this the pom-pom heather just because it's got these roundish little florets on it. This holds their color really well. This is just kind of an off-white pinkish, with some pinkish tinge to it. They're a little bit thicker than a lot of other flowers, but I really like them. They work well. I don't know where I got them out of. Heather. In the winter, I have a Mediterranean heather that I just strip the florets out of, and they work really well in mini arrangements and jewelry and that kind of thing. Now here is basket of gold. It's a perennial form of I want to say it's a perennial form of an alyssum, but I'm not sure. I don't want to misspeak. And then this is really interesting. My husband had, I think some people call them spurge, like euphorbia. And I thought, I'm just going to try to press these, what the heck, and see what happens. But they are really interesting. And I only did one page, but now that I know how interesting they are, I'm going to have to do more if we get some. That's a euphorbia. We have a couple different kinds of euphorbia. That was off of a variegated leafed one. And then this is from the crabapple. This was actually from earlier in the year, but it held its color really well, with that beautiful kind of mauvish, maroonish color. and they hang down on the tree kind of like that. They are really interesting, but they turned out really well. And then these fuchsia, I showed you that at the beginning of the video. That's the kind of fuchsia. And sometimes, maybe I did show you these in another peeking video, sometimes it'll turn a little bit brown right in through here, but these turned out really well. They held their color for some reason. If something doesn't turn out real well for you the first time around, and you really like it and you think it's got potential, don't give up and try it again, because sometimes they don't work one way and another year they will. I don't know if it's the moisture content from year to year or what. So there's some more fuchsia. Anything else in here? Fuchsia, fuchsia, fuchsia. There's a lot of clematis. Okay, here's a clematis. Put that on. Got several different kinds of clematis. They come in different colors. This is kind of a red. This one was more reddish, but it pressed more of a purplish color. And they tend to be larger scale flowers. That's what that is. Clematis petals, fuchsia. Okay, so that's all that's in that one. This is tick seed. I just wanted to show you what it looks like pressed, if I didn't already. Oh, cosmos. Cosmos, when you do, a lot of times when you do flowers like cosmos that comes in light pinks, dark pinks, you know, kind of these more maroonish colors. When you have ones that come in different hues, the ones, at least in my opinion, that will turn out the best when you press them and hold their color the longest is the ones that are more saturated. So for example, with cosmos, if I'm going to grow them to press, I won't do the light pink because they look washed out and they'll wash out really quickly. Whereas these will hold their color for years. Here's a purple alyssum. This holds their color well. So they'll hold their color well. The one thing, though, of course, with pressed flowers, you don't want to make an arrangement and set it in direct sunlight. That's one thing you don't want to do. But there's a page of the tick seed. And I think most everything here... Oh, okay. Also, cosmos comes in a different variety, orange and yellow, that type of thing. And here's a bird's foot trefoil. Grows along the side of highways as a wildflower / weed, but I really like them. I like the individual florets and the round open-faced spike spiral. And here's the orange cosmos. How beautiful. The petals are very sheer, but they're really nice. And then here's anemone. And then here's another kind of an orange. It's got a deeper color, more of a variegated type of a... And here's another one still. Different color, which went more toward a rust. Okay, the cosmos. More anemone. This is, what do they call that? I don't know. This is another kind of flower. I don't remember the name of it. Here's another. This is the back side of the anemone. This is the technique I showed you in another video where you get your finger up under there and kind of do a two-handed thing, otherwise they want to stick. It's a pansy. More anemone. Oh, it looks like I've used a lot of the pansies off this page already. Okay. Let's see if there's anything in here I don't think that I've showed you yet. Oh, the Chenille Plant. That was this one. They're kind of weird pressed. They're kind of thick, and you'll see some chenille plants that have real long tendrils on it. Mine didn't get that long. Of course, we're kind of more of a cold weather climate, so maybe they didn't have enough heat and time to do that. But they're interesting pressed nonetheless. Well, here's how those turned out. Looks like some more yellow cosmos. Since I'm going to roll the book back, I don't want them to get marred. That's the only reason I'm taking them off like that. Bachelor Tick, Delphinium. Here's a light blue Delphinium, which, in my opinion, they don't turn out quite as good as the dark blue, but when you want a larger flower. Here's a spring flowering anemone from Coreopsis, Vidden. Okay, I don't think there's anything. Oh, here, when I was talking about heather florets, and I used these in mini arrangements. Here's some purple blossoms, and here's some really small ones, super tiny. This is some hydrangea. And now some more Biddens in that flower that I showed you a minute ago. See if there's anything else. I think I don't think I've showed you this one. This is Pintus. And it has star-shaped flowers, holds their color really well. Good for small arrangements. Lobelia, that's the back side. There's the front side. Okay. And then this is the back side of the verbena. And that's the front side. And again, same comment on the verbena and a lot of these plants as I made on the Cosmo. Verbena come in so many different colors. You want the saturated colors. These colors will hold for years and years, and especially if you get the saturated varieties. Well, okay, it looks like we've seen the Lobelia and Bachelor Button, Alyssum. Verbena, Lobelia. Oh, marigold. I'm not sure if I've showed you the marigolds yet or not. I do the florets, and if you watched the eco printing video I did, I'm doing not posting here, you'll see some eco printed marigolds, which kind of turn a grungy, rusty color there, and they last a really long time, very vibrant. But here's what they look like. When you just do the florets. Poppetian, more bird's foot. Oh, oregano. I think I already showed you oregano on another video, but... Oh, no, I didn't show you this kind. This is a different kind of oregano I just brought in this year. I had it years and years ago, and I loved it, so I looked around, and it's a different kind of oregano than the regular culinary oregano, the ordinary culinary oregano. And these hold their color really well. Let me bring this up closer to the camera because they're very interesting. This is the regular culinary oregano. This is the other one. Okay, let's talk about these three items. Excuse me for bumping the camera. Okay, so the one on the lower right is Coreopsis, which that flowered all season, amazingly enough, because usually they're more of a spring flower. And then above that is the culinary regular oregano, in floret. And then this is that that ornamental oregano. So if you do a search for oreganos, there's a lot of different kinds out there. And that one's really neat. It kind of has a hoppish flower feel to it. That's what it reminds me of. So I didn't get very many flowers off of it this year, although I just planted it later in the spring, so hopefully next year. It's supposed to be a perennial or a tender perennial. Okay, I think I've shown you all those. See, this says dahlia. Let's see what that means. Oh, these are some dahlia petals. How beautiful are those? That was off of a different dahlia, yet a different dahlia than any of the ones that I've showed you so far. Okay, anything else of notoriety here? Status, what is this? Oh, okay, yeah, there's a couple things in here. Heliotrope. A lot of you know heliotrope. They're very aromatic. They have an interesting feathery texture, but they really go dark, so they're kind of more of a silhouette type feel. And then, of course, status. Status will hold its color for a really long time. More heliotrope. Here's heliotrope with the leaves attached. Okay. Alright, I don't think there's anything else in there. This just looks like more chenille. Yeah, okay. I don't think... I'm not sure why I brought this whole pile over. I think I've shown you everything in here. Might be a couple things in here. Some more of those orange cosmos. The purple, what was that one? Oh, yeah, again, it's one of those kind of daisy, marguerite type flowers, but the colors, if you can get it through the press, which was a little challenging with some of them, but look at the petals. How beautiful they are. These would be ones where, oh, those petals that I showed you that just came out of the press earlier in this video, this is what the petals were from. When I said they were from zinnia, and then I said, oh, wait a minute, I think I'm incorrect. It was from this guy. That's what they were from. This one browned a little bit, but when you get them through, they're another really interesting one. Deep purple daisy, like that's how I labeled them. Let's see what's in this one. There's some more of those. These made it through okay. They're pretty strange. Blanket, oh, blanket flower. Okay, there's the blanket flower. Gaillardia, I believe. Is that what it's called? No, Gaillardia. I don't know. I want to, but look at how beautiful that is. And this will hold its color for a really long time. Okay. That's it. I think I have a playlist called Peeking with Flowers, and if I don't, I'll make one, because I get a lot of people that have asked, you know, that will watch my demonstration for pressing flowers, where I'm actually showing you me putting them in the book for pressing, and they'll say, well, what do they look like done, or vice versa. I'll show them done, and they'll say, well, what do they look like when they're, you know, out of the garden? So the peeking up flowers and the pressing demonstrations kind of go hand in hand, because a lot of the things that you see me demonstrating pressing in the book or talking about, you will then subsequently see when I do the peeking with flower videos. So if you want to know what they look like before they're pressed and then after they're pressed, then you want to kind of do those in tandem. And another thing is I have a playlist called In the Garden, and that's one where I actually am outside and showing you what the flowers look like on the plant. And so, because a lot of times it's hard, for example, to to reference what the overall plan is when I'm just showing you a piece of it. And I go through the garden and I'll pick a piece, like if I was showing this in the garden video, I'll pick this off and I'll say, and this is how I press it. And I kind of do a hand demonstration about things that, I think about, or if I'm walking around and I'm not sure if something to press, the in a garden videos talk about things that I do when I pick something that I haven't ever pressed before and wonder, will this press? And I have a few techniques for trying to determine if it's something that I think will make it through. So again, that's probably more supplemental to the subject, but the two that go together are the ones that I mentioned, which is the peeking at flowers and the pressed flower demonstrations. So thank you very much for tuning in. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.